Artificial intelligence is often discussed as a policy problem, a matter for lawmakers, regulators, and public debate. Parliaments debate frameworks, agencies publish guidelines, public consultations are announced. This creates a reassuring impression that artificial intelligence is being governed through democratic processes, but this impression is incomplete, because most decisions that actually determine how AI operates are not made in parliaments. They are not voted on. They are not debated publicly. They are not announced in advance. They are made in networks, quietly, incrementally, technically, without votes. This briefing examines the AI governance system no one elected, a dense network of institutions, standards bodies, security alliances, and private councils that collectively define how artificial intelligence is built, deployed, constrained, and scaled, not through laws, but through alignment. Governance does not begin with legislation. It begins earlier. It begins with standards. Before an AI system is regulated, it is specified. Before it is debated, it is designed. Technical standards determine how models are trained, how data is selected, how performance is evaluated, how security is implemented, how systems are integrated into infrastructure. These standards shape outcomes long before lawmakers write a single line of legislation. By the time regulation arrives, the system is already constrained. Most people never see these standards. They are written in technical language, published in obscure documents, maintained by committees few citizens have ever heard of, and yet they govern everything. Most AI standards are not set by elected bodies. They are produced by working groups, industry consortia, international technical organizations, professional associations. Participation requires expertise, resources, institutional access. Public representation is minimal. Once these standards are adopted, they become defaults. Defaults become requirements. Requirements become governance. No vote is required. No public debate is necessary. Compliance emerges automatically. Standards function as invisible law. They do not command behavior directly. They constrain possibility. They determine what is technically feasible, what is economically viable, what is considered safe, compliant, or acceptable. An AI model that does not conform to standards cannot be deployed at scale. A system that violates standards cannot integrate with infrastructure. In this way, standards govern before laws do. And unlike laws, they are rarely contested, because contesting standards requires technical authority, not political legitimacy. The second layer of AI governance is security, intelligence partnerships, defense agreements, cyber coordination frameworks. These alliances establish rules for AI use under national security exemptions, rules that operate outside civilian oversight, rules that override public regulation when conflicts arise. Within these frameworks, artificial intelligence is treated as a strategic asset. Governance priorities shift. Interoperability becomes critical. Control becomes essential. Strategic advantage becomes the goal. Ethical debate is secondary. Transparency is optional. Classification defines the boundary of accountability. Decisions are justified by security necessity. Oversight is limited by secrecy, and democratic processes are suspended by design. The third layer is institutional coordination. central banks, defense ministries, intelligence agencies, regulatory authorities. These institutions align policies through memoranda, joint task forces, informal councils, technical working groups. Decisions do not emerge through public consent. They emerge through institutional consensus. These mechanisms are efficient. They bypass legislative friction. They resolve jurisdictional conflicts quietly. They produce binding outcomes without public debate. This is not accidental. Complex systems favor coordination over deliberation. Speed favors alignment over participation. Private actors play a critical role. Major technology firms, cloud providers, data custodians, infrastructure operators. They provide expertise, compute capacity, deployment pathways. Their influence is structural, but corporate power in AI governance is not autonomous. It is embedded within state priorities. Firms operate under security obligations, export controls, classified partnerships, compliance mandates. Their governance role exists within boundaries defined by governments. The result is not corporate rule. It is hybrid governance, neither fully public nor fully private, neither democratic nor authoritarian. A technocratic network optimized for coordination, speed, and control. This system does not govern AI by issuing commands. It governs by shaping constraints. It determines which models can be trained, which datasets can be accessed, which architectures are permissible, which deployments are acceptable, which discussions are excluded. Governance is embedded in design choices, not announced in speeches. Public AI debates focus on ethics, bias, transparency, accountability. These debates matter for consumer-facing systems. They rarely touch strategic AI. Classified systems operate under separate rules written by the same networks that deploy them. This creates a dual governance structure, one visible, one invisible. The visible structure absorbs public attention. The invisible structure exercises power. From this arrangement, algorithmic authority emerges. Decisions are embedded in systems rather than declared. Optimization replaces deliberation. Prediction replaces participation. Once implemented, algorithmic governance is difficult to reverse. Systems integrate into infrastructure. Dependencies form. Outputs influence upstream decisions. Risk assessments shape policy options. Forecasts constrain debate. Automated recommendations become default judgments. Governance becomes path-dependent. Reversal becomes costly. Resistance becomes impractical. This network did not arise from conspiracy. It arose from incentives. Speed favors coordination over debate. Complexity favors expertise over representation. Risk favors control over consent. Democracy is slow. AI governance is fast. The system optimized for speed won. The consequences are profound. AI systems increasingly shape policy outcomes before policy discussions occur. They influence economic forecasts, security assessments, resource allocation, risk modeling. By the time public debate begins, the range of options is already constrained. The decision space has already been narrowed. In a previous briefing, we examined who controls artificial intelligence. This analysis explains how that control is exercised, not through elections, but through governance networks beyond them. Understanding this structure is essential because power exercised through standards, alliances, and institutions does not require legitimacy. It requires alignment. And alignment does not ask permission. Analysis complete. In the next restricted briefing, we will examine why public AI regulation never reaches these systems, and how regulatory theater masks real control. Subscribe to Dark Power Index to access the next restricted briefing file. Access the data.